Hi everybody and welcome to week 12. I'm sorry this video is a day late. Yesterday kind of got away from me, but I just wanted to touch base. We've left media, but we're working on a topic that is very closely related, which is writing. I think writing, as you all can probably tell, is the most important skill that you have in the corporate communication field, or at least one of them. I mean, being able to speak and present yourself well is probably equally important, but being able to write and share your message is crucial. So this week we're looking at content, and next week we'll look at mechanics. So content is important because it's all about your message. So this week we're looking at thought leadership in the Scott reading, which is about how to create content that is more than just selling a product, but again creating a whole idea or lifestyle about a product, and kind of answering questions that people didn't even know that they had. So giving them content that is relevant to your brand or to your product or to your industry, but not necessarily pitching your brand directly. So it's basically engaging people and providing thoughtful content that people might find interesting outside of your product. So I've tried to pack the lesson with lots of good examples for that, and hopefully you'll get an idea for what I'm talking about, and you'll probably recognize it because this is becoming a more and more dominant paradigm for communication strategies. So probably you'll recognize the idea of thought leadership from different content that you've seen around surrounding your favorite brands or those brands that you engage in. And so to that extent, there are two readings this week. There is the reading from Scott, and then there's a PDF from Reddish on Angel. And so that talks more about how to incorporate writing into different formats, specifically the web. And so to that end, I'm just going to click over to the website. You have the Reddish chapter, you have a brief Scott reading, you have a discussion about overused language. So I think we all know that everything can't be extraordinary, groundbreaking, industry leading, yet that's still the content that a lot of media releases tend to fall back on. When everybody uses the same language, two things happen. First, nothing stands out anymore, so nothing is groundbreaking or industry leading. Also, a lot of organizations will make that claim about anything, and those claims then start to lose their validity, or we start to not believe what the organization is saying, especially if the organization uses those words but then doesn't really stand up to them. If they introduce a groundbreaking change and it's not one, then that hurts their credibility. And when a lot of organizations do it across the board, it hurts organizational credibility in general. So for the discussion, I'm having you go out, find some media releases again, and identify if there are overused words or overused language in them, or if you can find effective language in them as well. So just again, it's about getting you to go out there, see how organizations are doing it and what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. So there's that. And then there's an effective writing activity where I ask you to create a landing page for an undermarketed product. And so this requires you to combine some sort of visual with text, and then so really I'm asking you to think about how text and visuals go together to effectively market or advertise something, to effectively draw somebody in. So a landing page, as we discussed in sometime in the last 3 weeks, a landing page is a web page that is specifically for a product or an idea, and it's kind of like a backdoor into the organizational website. So I think the Scott reading a couple weeks ago talked about landing pages for specific travel destinations or specific travel packages, so that when you do a Google search or an internet search for something, for certain keywords, if you have a landing page that picks up those keywords, it will bring people right to that landing page so that they don't have to go to the main site of a web page and then click around and get frustrated and potentially leave. So they come into that landing page, but then somewhere on any good landing page is a link to the main website for the organization. And so then if they're interested and they want more information, they can click through to the main page of the organization. So that should be a fun activity for you. I'm not asking for anything over the top. If you know how to use any of the Adobe programs, that would be awesome. You can also use PowerPoint and bring images in that way, or Word, or any other programs that you know, but it's pretty easy to import visuals and to then create text boxes and frames and everything else in both Word and PowerPoint. So as a minimum, those are good, kind of easy programs to go to. If you have a full Microsoft Suite, Publisher is also a good way to go. If you have any questions about doing this or how to do it throughout the week, just shoot me an email or stop by and see me. As always, we have a current event discussion lead. We only have one this week. It's an interesting one about Facebook's new policies regarding nudity and other policies that they've passed. So I think it's really an interesting look at the idea of free speech versus caring for a community. Not that they're mutually exclusive, but those are kind of like two sides of the issue in this kind of debate. So it's a good discussion lead and worth checking out. And just a reminder, we are well more than halfway through the semester, and I think that some people haven't posted responses yet. Please do remember that you have to respond to 3 separate discussion leads as part of your own current discussion lead grade. So the discussion lead that you do is worth 70%, but then each of your discussions is worth 10% of your overall current event discussion lead grade. So please keep that in mind and participate in the discussion leads. As always, if you have any questions, my office hours are Tuesday from 9 to 12 and then Wednesday from 12:30 to 2:30, and you can often catch me in my office times aside from that, or set up an appointment with me. There's something else. Oh, I will, as I finish this, I will go ahead and record a video about the final paper for you. And so if you have any questions about that, feel free to get in touch as well. All right, have a great week.